Good morning, everybody. Glad to see you guys. I know it is the fifth Sunday of Safe Harbor. Usually we don't. I mean, I guess we've been doing it here and there, but usually we meet on the first and third, and so it's okay if it's a little slower this morning. But I'm glad you're here this morning. My name is Steven. I usually lead the music portion of service, and we usually sing a couple of songs. So feel free to join however you feel like participating in this one.
So good to see you this morning. We are so grateful to you for being so patient with us this morning. We, for whatever reason, Fifth Sundays, we're still working on them. We're still seeing, everyone plans their trips, their moving dates on the Fifth Sunday, so that's why it's a little smaller today. But we're so glad to see you, and for those who don't know me, my name is Donna. I'm one of the pastors here. And we are Chokhmah, or Safe Harbor OC, and we are a Jesus-centered community reimagining inclusive spaces to rest, restore, and belong. And we're so grateful you're joining us this morning. A few housekeeping items. We have a bathroom, I promise. It's out these double doors, and if you turn to the left, you'll notice a custodian closet that is open in the far yonder. Next to that custodian closet are the bathrooms. So, if you ever need the bathroom, you can more than welcome go on outside at any time, during any point, and use the restroom. I'm sorry for the journey. Really sorry. Okay, with that, I am going to lead us in a little mindfulness practice instead of a kids' prayer. We normally do a kids' prayer, but for the last few weeks, we've been going through this mindfulness practice where we talk about or focus on a certain social issue. And we do a little mindfulness practice with the kids in mind and for the kids, but also for the adults. And so you're more than welcome to come on in and participate. If you don't feel comfortable participating, that's fine. You could just sit there or go to the bathroom. Okay. So I don't have my usual audience, so I don't get as many laughs. It's fine. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Wow!
I'll pick up the slack.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
I'll laugh every time you say something funny.
Thank you, or try to.
Or try, yeah, try.
Okay, so with that, everyone, you're more than welcome to get Are you 11 months now? Yeah, you can do it. Sophia, you can keep playing or you can participate in this too. You can close your eyes and participate, it's up to you. But friends, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable place which you are at and sit and close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or soften your gaze if you don't want to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, pause, and let it out. Let's try that again. Take a deep breath in, and let it out. One more time. Breathe in, and let it out. Imagine that a friend is recruiting people to participate in a fundraiser for a local health clinic. You are not sure that you want to get up early on a Saturday to walk. Your friend invites you to come to the clinic and see the work they do. When you arrive, you notice a poster about vaccination on the wall. You hear a baby crying as she gets a shot. You see pregnant moms and people waiting to get their checkups. You watch as a kid with an inhaler picks up refills at the desk. You move out of the way so a man in his 70s can test out his new walker. The clinic staff are very busy. There are lots of people who need their help. How do you feel as you watch the staff take care of people? What do you want to do to support them? Take a deep breath in and let it out. And open your eyes when you're ready. So this is the point where I ask the kids, or also adults, how that was for you. Is there anything that popped up for you, that spoke to you, that an image or a thought? I'll go ahead and stop talking so you can talk. Feel free to just say something. Yeah.
I found myself curious about what kind of clinic it is and why they need our support. And it makes me think, okay, is all medical care under attack right now?
Yeah, and to clarify, this is called, this meditation is called healthcare crisis. That provides any context. Anyone else? Anything pop up for you?
A little confused about what there is to do to help.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're just sitting, you're watching it, and you're like, okay, I'm invited here, but like, what do I do? Yeah. Awesome. That's all I got. That's all I got for the kids this morning. Kids, you're gonna go with Charles. Usually we have two kids ministry leaders, but I got permission for it to just be Charles. It'll be James and Sophia. So Sophia and James, you are more than welcome to go out to the kids ministry room and hang out with this silly guy. This is my husband, by the way. Okay, so with that, we're gonna get started. And this part of the section, it's all right, you can leave the choice. We'll clean it up after Charles. This part of the section of the series is where we talk about the children's Bible. Now we've been going over a kids series, or a series that was focused on a kids ministry Bible. Sorry, I'm having ADHD. For those of you who are neurodivergent, you understand. This is a really fun day. We are having such a good day. We are on it. We are going with it. We are moving with the punches. Okay.
And they can't help themselves, they want to help
They want to
clean.
help clean. Oh, that's so sweet.
So we're going to embrace that that's part
Yeah.
of our little kiddos right now wanting to help clean.
That's really sweet. You know what? As they help clean, I'm going to try to find the passage that I'm trying to find right now.
I have it if you need it.
Oh, thank you. What did you say?
131.
Amazing. What we are going going to do now is I'm going to read this story from an inclusive Bible called the Book of Belonging. And this is meant for children, but I think it's very relevant for us today. And then Dottie's going to give our sermon. So here we go. Women Wisdom. This comes out of the passages in Scripture of Job 28, Proverbs 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 14, Matthew 11, and Luke 7, 11. Thank you, Gabe, for laughing at the jokes. As twilight settles across the land in lamplit rooms and cozy alcoves, mother and fathers tuck their children into bed, stroking their hair and tickling their feet. They tell the old stories of women wisdom. Listen well, little one, for life is long and full of choices. Pay attention to your father's lesson. Don't forget your mother's teaching. There is a way these tender feet may walk well in God's good world. The way is lit by wisdom. You might wonder, what is wisdom? Wisdom is woven throughout the universe, an invisible glimmering thread, a guiding goodness. It helps us see right from wrong. It helps us treat others justly and generously. It's a glad voice calling us to live lives of love. Sometimes wisdom comes like a path to walk on. It helps us avoid danger and leads us to a good life. Sometimes wisdom is like voices that boom and whisper. Sometimes we feel it in our family's old stories as we remember what they did with their love and longings. Sometimes we notice it in nature, the bustling of ants and squirrels saving us up for the cold winter, the direction of birds, the moaning of whales, and the skittering of bats, the knowingness of creatures and the steady sequence of seasons. Wisdom is all around us because God is here too. The parents prattle on as the children cuddle close. The old stories describe wisdom as a person, a brilliant woman of welcome who shares her guidance with anyone who wants it. Woman wisdom is old, they say, as old as the beginning. When God was singing the creation songs, splitting seas and carving continents, wisdom was there. She delighted in every new creation and creature, sometimes advising like a master crafter, sometimes cheering like a gleeful child. She rejoiced when God made people, agreeing with the good names God called us. And she still calls those names. Shouting in the busy streets, bellowing through the gates of important castles, crying out from the steps of her house. Wisdom is always offering help, even to you, even to me, even today. Trust God, she reminds us. Get to know God's ways. Slow down and be still. Talk less and listen more. Master your anger. Don't let fear guide you. Be willing to learn. Remember what God has done. Wisdom's words are pleasant, and all her paths are peace. She's like a tree full of fruit that gives life and happiness. Eyelids grow heavy as the night grows darker, and the mothers and fathers shush and soothe. Yes, life is long and full of choices. Some days it feels like too many choices, but sleep well, love, for God has sent us a guide. Like wisdom herself, God's Spirit is always speaking, delighting, advising, and welcoming. Wisdom promises to be found by anyone who needs her, finding who feels like a big job, yes, but being in awe of that bigness is the first step to wisdom. So may you awake with awe, my child, and listen when wisdom speaks.
Thanks, Donna. Oh, wisdom. About a year ago, my sweet grandpa or papa passed away. And he had asked before he passed away that I would do his funeral or celebration of life. And it was such an honor. I loved my papa really, really dearly. He was this like very tan, skinny, lanky man with a weird knee and only 9 fingers. And I just adored him. And my papa, it was so fun as I prepared for his celebration of life. I got to hear a lot of stories and how we wanted to shape the service. And he would have these phrases, aren't we lucky, and stuff like that that just were really dear. And he was filled with so much wisdom, but I never thought of my pop-up as this like wise man. He was someone that would like, if he met Stephen for the first time, would just kind of sit and look at you with like big bug eyes. I'm like so curious about the person in front of him. And as I was reflecting on the life of my pop-up and some of that, there's something about wisdom. It's not necessarily that he lived a long life. While that does help, it's how he engaged with life. Wisdom is this ability to be so present to those around us and move sometimes beyond words, but in a way that brings ourselves and others to places of flourishing. And and often we see that wisdom in these archetypes of folks that are older because they've been able to see how life goes and passes and are able to tell these stories of how to engage with the world. Now, one of my favorite images of wisdom is in Moana. Who's seen Moana? Yes. You haven't seen Moana? Homework. Okay. And I know you have a lot of free time, so it'll be easy.
I need to see it too.
Moana, okay, you gotta see it. Moana, this grandma is so sweet. So Moana wants to go to the water. She feels this calling, like, I gotta go into the water, I gotta go into the water. Her parents are like, no, you can't go to the water. And her dad has like actual capital T trauma around the water. There's been a lot of things there. So dad's like, don't go to the water, Moana. And she's like, it's calling me. And so she tries to go in the water, and then the water kind of really gives her a day, and she comes out of it, and she's all baked up. And her grandma's just kind of there looking at her and knows everything. And the secret to the story is that Moana needed to go to the water. Like that was part of her identity and her culture that she needed to explore. And her grandma is there with her on this beach, looking at her like, what a sweet face, right? And her grandma brings so much sarcasm and humor. I want to be like Moana's grandma. She calls herself the village crazy lady. Oh, how cool. I want to be the village crazy lady. I love it. So she's listening to Moana so intensely, but she's asking her questions. And she's really, most importantly, not dysregulated by Moana. She is an empathetic presence, helping Moana discover who she is. To the point where, again, spoiler, but it's been out for a while, so it's okay. Moana's grandma actually dies in the movie, and before she dies, she tells Moana, go on this adventure. She has so much peace and groundedness and wisdom. She's not dysregulated by Moana asking questions, but instead really supports her. And I love thinking of her and all of her quirkiness. The village crazy lady, she's not the most popular, she's not the most liked. If anything, she's seen as this crazy woman. But she is this really beautiful source of wisdom that ultimately points Moana closer to who Moana is called to be and who the people are supposed to be. And that's what wisdom is. Wisdom points us deeper to ourselves, points us deeper to others, and it often is not the cool thing to do. It's often not popular. If anything, it can be seen as crazy at times. But wisdom does connect us deeper to who we are and to those around us and who we are called to be. So, we're going to talk about wisdom in the Hebrew Bible, and boy, am I excited, because it is going to be a good time. Before we do, we're going to do some discussion. I've talked to a couple of you this morning. Some of us are bringing in some very antisocial energy, and I love it and support it. So please, if this is feeling like an extra thumbs down day to discussion, embrace it. Grab some markers and paper during this time if you want. I would just invite us, if you're not feeling like talking, stay engaged. You showed up today for some reason, so stay engaged, whether it's reflecting on your own or coloring. Let's just stay here and be present for this moment. So we're gonna, if you are feeling like chatting, grab some neighbors, maybe 3 or 4 of you, and we'll talk about these questions. What does wisdom mean to you? And who are the wisdom figures in your life, and what have they taught you? And again, if you are not feeling like chatting today, put a thumbs down to your neighbor, and that's okay. I would just invite you to still reflect on these questions by yourself. All right, we'll take a couple minutes to do it.
Shall we be neighbors? Neighbors. Neighbors, I love that. Neighbors! Oh yes, I was in a mood to draw. I think I'll name this one Barbara. Barbara Manatee. Barbara Manatee. Yeah, Barbara Manatee. To the ball. Barbara Manatee. It's like that silly song is basically Song of Solomon. Except it's about a manatee. I mean, Moana, yeah. I haven't even, the thing is, I haven't even seen Moana, and I just had this intuitive feeling to just manatees.
You're like, oh, I didn't.
So there's like a sort of like a normal life theme on here today.
I think like going
Okay, so what does wisdom mean to you?
even if you like are just like having
Oh, the wisdom.
it's like very similar to description. Like
The wisdom.
it rather than just being like a package.
Things you can't change and things you
Wisdom is the
can.
best way to respond to
I feel like, yeah, because I feel like wisdom is a thing that's like, it's not like petty about your side, it's not like yeah, like in a certain ways what it is. As far as the second question, I feel like wisdom is like either when you're in the or you need it. That is our, that's why I feel like that. But it's really not an easy question. I was just thinking about it going Proverbs. There's one proverb that says, don't answer the phone for the day. Like and I feel like that it's not like a definitive thing. It's like
Maybe it's divine. Because lately I kind of developed this idea that we all have pieces of the divine within us.
yeah, but it's not supposed to be it's not the same thing.
Yeah, so I guess we're all kind of divine.
That would be like makes wrong with like
I mean, if someone had said that to me like 5 years ago, that would have sounded like heresy, but honestly, I feel like the divine is like buried deep within us. I think we just have to acknowledge it and yeah.
wisdom figures we have been taught.
outside of family members, I've always thought of like your mom as super
Yeah. Okay, why? Your family. Yeah, it's pretty wise. So it's nice. I was like, or good question. I like wise people.
right, you don't have to like,
They tell you what to do.
I'm thinking of
they're kind of leading you in the right direction. Or like,
Yeah.
it's really kind of
I remember like
I don't know if you've seen like a lot of time stuff, but he's very like, especially when he does like
one out things. I remember like
Take the next minute to wrap up. If someone hasn't shared, maybe
but
we
I
can
think
share.
that is like there's like an intuitive knowledge
decisions.
I was texting them last night about it, like, what do I do in this like conversation? And then they sent me like a multi-paragraph thing of like, oh, this, then I use this. How do you feel about this?
There's something already like.
That simplifies it so much. Yeah. It also shows that you care about
Yeah. Machines cannot make last minute split decisions, can they?
I was, I actually like downloaded Deep Sleep from when it first came to see. I want to tell you about the experience where,
All right.
it just was like,
We will slowly start coming back.
really hallucinating historical events.
Does anyone want to share what came up in your group? What's wisdom? Angel? Do you want the mic? Yeah. Okay.
So I had shared that my wisdom figures have been like, I've been in therapy for many years now, and some of my therapists have been really good wisdom figures, and they've helped me learn things about like life and about coping, and even about like myself and how to be more in tune with myself and like learning about myself. And even now, the therapist I'm still seeing, like I find that I'm regularly, you know, gaining wisdom from my sessions with her.
Thanks for sharing. Anyone else want to share what is wisdom or any figures in your life? I'm like staring at certain people.
A few things that I thought about were the Jedi know the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So I think of knowledge as something that you get out of books, whereas wisdom is discerning right and wrong and what's the best way. And also, my daughter Sophia is named after wisdom itself.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, back table, right?
For me, a wisdom figure that's been in my life would have to be my dad. He's always just been there helping me and stuff. Anytime I have like problems with like friends or like the electricity, because he's an electrician, he's always been there and helping me and guiding me and stuff. So I'd say he's like a big part of my life.
I love that. Thanks, that's awesome. Oh, I love that. Back table is where it's at. Thanks, y'all. Anyone else want to share? No? Great. Oh, yeah, Maddie.
Okay, Ryan made a really awesome point. That was that we were talking about, you know, what are representations of wisdom in media or like movies, and he said, you know, wisdom is knowledge is something that an antagonist has, but they never really have wisdom. And we talked about wisdom being something that is, you know, inherently shared. It's different from something you keep to yourself. Wisdom becomes wisdom through that act of sharing versus just like, you know, it's something intangible that you can't, or intangible that is far off and guarded and kept away from everybody else.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Maddie and Ryan. That's amazing. Yeah, knowledge is sometimes from a more colonial lens, something to be conquered, right? Or like I can own it or possess it. Or wisdom is more of a shared experience. That's amazing. All right, wisdom in the Hebrew Bible. As some of you know, sometimes I put on my psychology researcher hat. Sometimes I put on my like biblical nerdy hat. We're going biblical. I'm going into, yeah, we got that. Yes, finally. Yes, not psychology. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So we're going into the weeds of some Hebrew. And it is so good and rich when we talk about wisdom. So in the Hebrew Bible, so the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, there is a collection of writings called wisdom literature. It's a genre of writing. That's where Proverbs is, Ecclesiastes, Job. And in that collection, these writers are telling us what wisdom is. They're telling us how do you live justly in the world. And so we are introduced to wisdom in the book of Proverbs in this way. Proverbs 1, 2 through 3. For learning about wisdom, and I'll get back to that Hebrew word.
Hakuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata. Exactly. For learning about wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for gaining instruction in wise dealing, righteousness, justice, and equity. This is what wisdom is. So this is the point of Proverbs. That's how the ancient author introduces the book. And we're going to stay with Proverbs this morning. So wisdom is depicted as this incredible feminine figure in the Hebrew Bible. In Proverbs 1, 20 through 21, wisdom cries out in the street. In those squares, she raises her voice. At the busiest corner, she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates, she speaks. To no surprise, wisdom is this very justice-oriented presence in Proverbs. It circulates around justice and equity, and that is how we are introduced to wisdom in Proverbs. And that theme carries throughout in the book of Proverbs. A very, very justice, wisdom calling out in the streets. Now, the Hebrew. So, we'll go to the next slide. So, it's a personification of wisdom in the Proverbs. It's not just using the words wisdom, but the ancient writer uses she to describe wisdom, as if wisdom is a person. And I wanted to share that the Hebrew word, the one that looks like Hakuna Matata, so I have such a hard time pronouncing words, but the like Chokhmah and the Chokhmah, that one, these are essentially the same word. They're just it's like a transliteration thing of why they're listed differently. So if you go into the Hebrew Bible, you'll see this one, but the Chokhmah is the one that people often reference wisdom in the Hebrew Bible. That word is a feminine noun. So wisdom is feminine in the Hebrew Bible. Now, later, we see it translated in Greek to Sophia. Go, Sophia. Love that you shared about your daughter. So in the Greek tradition, wisdom is often referenced as Sophia. And so across the ancient Christian tradition, we hear of Sophia being talked about, prayed to, as almost this divine presence. So Sophia has kind of been this underdog that's been erased almost, that is a part of the Christian tradition. So in the Hebrew, we're introduced to wisdom, and then the interpretation in a way that it has come alive has been, over time, often referenced as Sophia, or Sophia wisdom. So if you've ever heard of that, that's where this comes from, in the ancient Hebrew. So, what's so cool is that the writers tell us that wisdom has been at the beginning of creation. Much earlier than we could even imagine. So in Proverbs 8, it says, Yahweh, which is a covenantal God, we've talked about before, Yahweh gave birth to me at the beginning. Before first acts of creation, I have been everlasting. In the beginning, before the world began, I was there when the Almighty created the heavens and set the horizon just above the ocean. So Sophia, wisdom, Chokhmah, this Hebrew word, right, of this feminine presence, has been with God from the beginning, from the start of creation. Now, if you were here the very first week we started this series, you might remember that we talked about that creation story. In the beginning, God created this. Now, in the beginning, when God created, we are introduced to different words to describe God. We are introduced to the word Elohim, which is this plural understanding of God. We're also introduced to the word Ruach. Does anyone remember that word? Kind of, yes. So Ruach. And it was a feminine noun. Ruach. So so we'll go back to the creation story. So in Genesis 1 it says, and the Spirit of God, the Ruach Elohim, was moving over the face of the waters. So in the very beginning of the creation story, we're introduced to God as plural, but also God as feminine, this feminine spirit. Ruach is a feminine noun in ancient Hebrew. Just like wisdom is a feminine noun in ancient Hebrew. And like that proverb said, wisdom, she has been there from the start. She has been there from the beginning of creation. And so for this reason, a lot of scholars will link up these two. And over time, that spirit and wisdom, there's this personified divine feminine presence in the Bible. And a lot of people, right, see Spirit or Holy Spirit as the feminine presence, as this huge part of who God is. God's presence in the world is one of, the divine feminine. And Proverbs 3:19 it says, for it was through her, it was through wisdom, it was through Sophia, that Yahweh laid the earth's foundation. Through her, that heavens were set in place. Wisdom was there at the very beginning. This divine feminine presence was there at the very beginning. And wisdom is calling us, right? That's part of what wisdom is. Wisdom is this divine feminine presence, but also the presence that was saying, we're calling out on the streets. We're calling for justice. Wisdom also, though, points us to who we are created to be. And going back to that creation story, the creation story was one of belovedness. It was one of we are all created in the image of God. Wisdom points us back to that. We are good. We are created in the image of God. We belong. And I have to take time to go into the Hebrew words because I really think it's important for us to see that these things that we talk about aren't made up. Now, this, of course, is my take on the Bible. There's plenty of masculine and other ways to describe God in the Bible, but I think it's really important that we take a moment to go, wow, wisdom is a part of who God is and was there from the start. And it's kind of been this subtle, almost quiet presence, and not always given the center stage when we talk about God. Now, when it comes to how do we live wisely in our life, this is a question that's really complicated and strange. And a lot of times I would say, wisdom is are we living lives of that center around justice and equity? Are we uplifting others? How are we doing everything, right? And I just wanted to share this week, I had this really odd week where I felt very disconnected from wisdom. And I don't know, there's always a level of vulnerability with preaching. I'm I don't know how much to share. It's always a little vulnerable, right? But I'm gonna be vulnerable with you all. This week was one where I was in my head about seeing certain successes of other people and families and feeling less than with other people to the point where I was almost like an existential ickiness, where especially around money. And I grew up low income, so I've had at times a really awesome relationship with money and wealth, and at other times I would say it's like a harder relationship. And this week I felt the pain points of it, and I felt the almost the existential question of why didn't I pursue a life to be rich? Hard to admit. This is against everything that I preach, truly, really. So I'm trusting you all with this information. And I asked myself that this week. Why didn't I pursue a life where I could be rich? Right? Or that was a big priority. And I feel really off this week. And I couldn't quite snap out of it. And I was really disconnected from wisdom. Because what I was comparing myself to, what I was looking for, is, and there's nothing wrong with being wealthy. That's not the message here. What was going on was that there was turmoil within me. That was a poison, right? Disconnecting me from myself and others around me. And wisdom, I think of wisdom. And Moana's sweet grandma, if she was sitting with me, like she'd be like, Dottie, you know who you are. Like that's not it for you. And I know you're having a tough week. She'd maybe ask me some questions, point me in the right direction. But just be with me, I'm like, you know who you are. And wisdom is the deeper work of pointing us to who we are. There's a lot happening in our society, in our culture, and in our own interpersonal lives that complicates how do we live in goodness and in God's wisdom and in God's way or whatever. And for me this week, it was so bizarre to feel so disconnected and almost like I fell for the trap of wealth and power. And I couldn't really find my way back to wisdom. It took like a lot of processing, like every day, like, why am I feeling so off this week? And as I think about wisdom, I don't know, I guess I don't really have a good way to tie this one up. Maybe that I find a lot of comfort that wisdom was there in the very beginning and has been with us in the very beginning and always invites us to more subversive ways of being that are not just like the cool way, but the Moana grandma way of like, I'm the village crazy lady. It's like pursue being rich. I don't know, that's so silly to say, but we all have these different temptations or these different myths that we're tempted to live into. If I just accomplish this, if I just have this relationship, if I just feel this way, if I just work out in that way, if I just get this career accomplishment, then I'll have it. And wisdom invites us into something deeper, asking us deeper into the question of who are we? So as we reflect on wisdom, I just would love us to all think about who are the wisdom figures in your life. Think about them more and what do they invite you into specifically? Like how do they bring you to be your best self? And then maybe what are some of the temptations in life right now? It could be something as silly as I compare myself to that one person on social media. Or something as like big like this week, I don't know, again, vulnerably sharing that I was comparing myself to like wealth and stuff. But what are some of the temptations right now that you find yourself in? And what are the ways that you're subtly being invited back into wisdom? To be present and to ask yourself, who am I called to be? And how do I stay awake to that? Seeing the divine feminine, like a sweet old grandma with you, present, inviting us all to be who we are created to be. I'm going to pray for us. Spirit, Ruach, wisdom, we are so grateful for your presence. Your presence has been with us since the beginning of creation and the beginning of our lives. And Spirit, we are created in your image. Your Spirit is in each one of us, and there's things that happen in life that connect us to it more and disconnect us from it. It's so funny, I even feel embarrassed right now that I shared the ways that I've been disconnected from myself, falling for some myths and traps of getting ahead or climbing or winning in this life. And wisdom, you remind us of who we are. That wisdom set out to bring deeper love, deeper justice, deeper equity. Not about winning the game in life, but a shared wisdom. What does it mean to be together as humans and flourish? God, help each one of us to live into that wisdom, into your wisdom. Amen. All right. We are in a time of communion. So if you would like to participate, we've got some greeters coming around with stuff. Yeah. And you can go ahead and grab it. Just put your hand up and we'll bring it by. And as we share in this time, would we just remind ourselves that we get to participate in wisdom with us, Spirit with us, in these quiet, subtle, underdog ways. On the night that Jesus was betrayed, he took the bread with dear friends, wisdom within him to take it, knowing violence was going to happen to him and still choosing a really non-violent communal way to be. He took the bread and he broke it and he said, "This is my body with you. Take this in remembrance of me." So we take the bread. And in that same way, Jesus took the cup and said, "This is my blood poured out in solidarity with you. Drink this in remembrance of me." So we drink of this. And as we do, when we keep feeling that sweet, divine wisdom is with us, and keep noticing areas where we can lean into it more.
God, I look to you, I won't be overwhelmed. Give me
trust you, God. Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best star, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence by night. Be thou my wisdom, be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. I ever with thee, and thou with me, Lord. Thou my great Father, and I thy loved one. Thou with me dwelling, and I with thee, Son. Which is I now, which is I now, nor fame and see praise. Thou my true guidance, for now and always. Thou and thou only, the light in my heart. Of jealousies, my counsel, thou art. Be thou my vision, and be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best star, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence by night. And waking or sleeping, thy presence by night.
All right, is this working? I think it's working. It's so exciting. All right, thank you, Stephen. That was absolutely incredible. All right, hi. If you don't know me, my name is Maddie, and I'm very lucky to be part of the board here at Chok. And today I'm going to be giving you some announcements. So, first up, spring's finally here. Who's excited? Please clap. All right, there we go. All right, so we have a Chok fundraiser yard sale coming up. It will be in Tustin. This is going to be Saturday, April 12th from, it looks like that says 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you would like to donate any yard sale items, then you can reach out to Donna. Donna, can you raise your hand? Fantastic. All right. So that will be coming up. Our calendar's very exciting. All right. And then this is really, really special. We are going to be having a baptism on Palm Sunday for Angel. Angel, yes, wave, wonderful. Incredible, thank you. So this will be in Corona Del Mar at 2 p.m. on April 13th. You are all invited to join us in celebrating Angel's baptism. And if you would like to learn more about baptism at Chokh, then please feel free to reach out to Donna. She can answer any questions you have about baptism here, and how we do baptism in general. All right, so Haven is our wonderful LGBTQ plus group. We have a new schedule up. So Haven meets every Wednesday at Donna's in Tustin. You can come early at 6:30 p.m. for dinner, and then at 7 p.m. Will be the group discussion. So let's see, where are we? So we have our Book of Belonging series through a queer lens, justice education, girl dinner, which I don't know about you, but that sounds like a really fun one to go to. And then last week we had, for the last week we'll be doing an underground justice group. So if you're interested in joining Haven, again, reach out to Donna, and we will answer your questions and get you involved. And then, okay, if you can't get enough of us because we're only really every other Sunday, then don't worry, we still have things going on, and we actually do yoga on off Sundays. So you can join our Instagram group or talk to Ryan. Ryan, raise your hand. Fantastic. So if you're interested in joining all of us for some yoga on Sundays where we don't have a service, then reach out to Ryan and he can give you some more information. And then, all right, we also have now a Wednesday morning small group that is a theology discussion group. And this takes place on Wednesdays at 10:30 in the morning, not at night. We're not doing it that late. And this is at Donna's house in Tustin. So if you're interested, you know who to talk to. Yeah, Donna, raise your hand. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows Donna. Thank you. Sorry, putting you on the spot so much this morning. Donna is hosting all the parties. All right. So then we also have our Sunday morning coffee house, and this will be on the second and fourth Sundays of the month in Irvine. So this is our family-friendly space where we're going to have coffee, pastries, conversation. You can just connect, relax, spend time together, make some new friends, hang out with friends you already know here, and we would absolutely love to have you. It's a great way to stay involved and connected on non-service Sundays. So we also have a Discord, which is anybody here? If you are in our Discord, do you know Discord?
I have
Any
Discord.
gamers in the room? Awesome. All right, well, we also have Discord as a continued message group outside of Chokh. So if you would like to join, scan that QR code with your phone or ask us, you can ask me too, I can help you get on. But it's a great place for ongoing discussions.
Yes, I just tried to scan the QR code, and I scanned it or the other Sunday that I was here, and it says it's expired. So you might have to change it.
We should fix that. Thank you, that is a really good catch. All right, we will make sure that is all sorted so you can get into our Discord. Fantastic, but it's a fun space, and everybody here is welcome to join. All right, and then Chokh is just an absolutely incredible, very grassroots effort here happening. Just everybody here is making it possible. So if you are able and willing, you can donate to Chokh and help support us to help us continue meeting and build a beloved community together. You can text 84321 an amount to give. We also have a giving page on our website that has some more information, and you can give there as well. So whatever is easiest for you, if that is something you feel called to do. And I'm going to wrap up today with our benediction. Please receive this however you feel most comfortable. You can put your hands out. You can just sit there. You can be thinking about already walking to your car. That's okay. So, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make their face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord lift up her countenance upon you and give you peace. Thank you. you all so much for being here today, and we're so lucky to be in community with you. Thank you.